Welcome to the live session. Coming up, unemployment claims. We'll be trading this live together in the next session. We had a consecutive win. You guys have seen that, which is good to see that we are on the winning streak and would like to keep that running. Good morning. Pretty excited today, Thursday. Preliminary GDP coming, unemployment claims coming Thursday and then Friday. Tomorrow as well. So let's get busy. Welcome, Nefi. Good morning. What we are looking at? Gold or euro dollar or British pound US dollar? Gbpusd in a bullish trend. As DXY, we have seen there is a breakdown and Gbpusd just doing the opposite of DXY. And looking at here, what you can see on gold, pretty strong bullish move on gold that you can see currently. And I'm looking for an entry on gold. Do you guys want to see gold first or you want to see that Gbpusd? Here, as coming up news, we will be looking for a possible entry in this market. And gold, okay. Anyone else on gold? Anyone else on Gbpusd? Dollar yen, euro dollar, British pound US dollar, gold. We have a couple of instruments to look at, but I'm prioritizing gold or British pound US dollar. Welcome. Let's look at first gold. Gold is in a very nice trend. This kind of market that I like to trade as very organized uptrending market structure at the moment. Moving in a channel, just breaking out of that. Now we need to find a level for an entry. That's what we are looking at on gold. And that's what we're looking at. Euro dollar. Mighty. So before I progress with this live session, guys, I would appreciate if you like this stream, which is needed for progress for the YouTube algorithm to like it. Okay, so what's happening here on gold? Look at this one, guys. Here there is a breakout with the speech last Friday, and throughout the week, so you can see the market in a bullish channel. Okay, so in this bullish channel, what kind of price action it is forming here? If you look at here, you can see that this is where we look at the monthly, pretty sharp bullish impulsive move here from the monthly. Okay, so you can see this is a bull market here in this instrument. And where from this monthly support, I'm going to do a full multi-time frame analysis before we look for any entry. Now you can see that from this monthly support level, which is a monthly impulse, from this support on the monthly, we can see the market has made its initial bounce back to the upside. Now we are almost end of the month. The candle is closing in just a matter of 2 days. That means this is the last week of the month. And what we are looking at here in this, if you look at the overall now, as for a better entry, we need to look for the bigger picture. This is what I always emphasize. Why? Because when we are looking at the bigger picture, we are not ignoring the smaller picture. We are looking at in detail of it. Imagine that, we need to look at the analogy. Analogies help us to understand the context. Okay. All right. So look at this box, guys. This is a very important point that you will be bringing in. It's gonna change your perspective. Okay, so if we look at this box, let's see, it's a, each box has how many sides? 6 sides, right? One top, bottom, right, left. If someone is looking from standing here, okay, so a guy is standing here, all right, looking this way. Now, if you look at the box, what he will see, or he or she, is a red wall, right? Just one red wall, looking in one direction. But if someone looking at from the top, from near top, he might only see just a blue roof. How about someone looking at from here, from very top? You're gonna look at every sides, right? From an angle from the top. That is bigger picture, looking at from different angle and from different perspective. Okay, so that is called bigger picture. And that's what I always encourage when you are trading, looking at the bigger picture. And that's what we are looking at here. From the monthly, you are looking the whole and then going into the pieces for potential entry. Now looking at weekly, we are dropping down to the weekly time frame. Now previous weekly candle was bullish rejection from here. Now this week, so far the market just crossing this weekly high here, and it's just now approaching an important key level of resistance here. As the price crossing that, this is an important resistance. From here, what I think that we can expect a deeper pullback, and that's what our potential entry. Now I'm going to the daily chart. Previous daily candle was a pin bar, doji, and this today's candlestick pattern that we can see after this pin bar, that's showing that bullish interest in this market. It's slowly building its pressure back to the upside now. So we see that aligning from the monthly, weekly and daily. Aligning with the monthly, weekly and daily time frame, the market is showing potential bullish market structure here on gold. And that bull market can give us some bull, right? Can give us bullish entry opportunity. Let's look at here on the 15-minute chart that I'm looking at the moment. We have seen an important key level of support here. The market has left here this support in that area. from the lower time frame. If we look at here, which is an important key level of support, the market tested that and then has got that rejection back to the upside here. 4-hour support level is here now. We see there is a very sharp bounce back to the upside here at the moment on the 4-hour time frame. And what we are expecting here in this market for the price to potentially revert back again from this support to the upside. That is where we are looking for an entry in this market. Now, looking at the 15 minutes here, we can see that this is where a move followed by this pullback to that support, and it's now trending with a momentum to the upside in this market. So this is currently from the 15 minutes and from the 5 minutes. If we look at, and if we synchronize that, as you know that every trade, every analysis that I do, I need at least 2 time frames to coincide in terms of trend and entry. This is my completely own way to trade the market. It's not a new thing. I'm trading now years of time, and everything, as you can see, learn from me is 70% observational, 30% learned, but completely blended with my own way of doing. So everything that you learn here is original in nature. And that's why you see that I don't compromise with quality. If I don't have trade, I don't trade. I don't want to give you a trade which is not there. And that's why the win rate is now at the top. Okay, and that's what we need to do, right? As a trader, you want to make money, you want to grow account, you want to make sure that it's happening right now. If you think that you are ready to take your trading to the next level, then don't miss out this live session. Stick till the end. Just before you stick till the end right now, also push that live streaming at the top of the stream by smashing the like button, because when you like it, YouTube algorithm like it. And also, what do you think with this current market structure as 12 minutes coming up news? Do you think spike down or a spike up is also important point that we need to consider? I'm going to post a poll here as well in the next 12 minutes to see what you guys are thinking. So what's your view on news on gold? So I posted 2 important poll here. So share your thought and opinion. Profani, Coach, are you doing a good work? Gold looks bullish, but what about bearish trend line before the weekly resistance? It seems as if gold may respect the trend line and bounce back. First of all, thanks for your appreciation. Absolutely, I give everything my best, and also I see that, you know, when you guys are learning and growing, I see that there is a huge progress in learning, and that's what we need. And also, you know, becoming a trader, this means one is having a rebirth, changing the life to take their life to the next level. And everyone here watching this live session, you can be in that zone that, you know, you need to become as a trader. So keep winning, keep growing, keep learning as a trader. Now, the second part of this conversation is gold looks bullish, but what about the bearish trend line before weekly resistance? It seems as if gold may respect the trend line. Okay, so I think the line that I have drawn, this is what you are talking about, this trend line from the weekly, which is from the weekly perspective, the trend line is quite a bit at the moment, it's still around 130 pip. Now, looking at from the daily point of view, if the market is going in this move here, yeah, there is a possibility for rejection from this higher price to the downside. But to identify that trend line, okay, because you can't exactly say that it's gonna be a straight line. This is how trading is. So my preference here at the moment is to look for buy on a breakup structure, because you don't know when the market will reverse. Even it reverse, you also will not be able to know either it's a pullback or it's a reverse. So because of that, if we look at now the 15 minutes here, this is the weekly trend line, and the market may still go back there and could come back and go back again, because whenever the market approach or reach such an important resistance line, it doesn't straight drop down. It's gonna go there, it's gonna drop and go back again. There will be a lot of back and forth. So therefore, our aim here is to look for an entry from a key level of support for buying, because what is going up is likely to go up. That's the law of trading. British pound US dollar, we will be looking at some point as we are analyzing the gold for potential entries coming up. News in few minutes. Everyone, thank you. Spiking down. Okay, so share your thought and opinion by giving a vote here. I have posted a poll. You guys can check that poll. I see that spike up 45%, spike down 55%. I'm not sure why many people spike down. Could be, but let's see what's everyone is. We'll be live trading gold on news. We will be observing the price action on news, but we will not be entering any trade on news, because we don't want to, I don't want to trade news at all, because it widens the spread. But observing the news, and then after the news published, that's where the opportunity will come. Because what the news does is, why news so important? Also a very important question, isn't it? Why news is important is that you will be trading news, or the data coming is important, right? Couple of important questions that you can ask. Why do news important? Can anyone answer? Let me see what's your view on that. Do you have an idea? Okay, so the news, the most important part on news, previous direction for next trade, provides direction for the next trade. Anyone, any different opinion on that? Why do news important? Especially the high impact news. Okay, so let's look at that point here. Why news is important? Firstly, we will not be trading news, definitely. Then why it is important? Because more often there are two very important things happen during the news. The first thing is many traders closes their position, not only traders, even the institutional trader, for the data to come up, because uncertainty. Due to the news, due to the data, there is uncertainty, and the market become unusually volatile because of excessive closing and opening positions. Because when you close a position, you actually placing an order. That means you are closing a buy, you are placing a sell order, right? And then the market become unusually volatile before the news. And with the news, what happened? The price come to sometime more often to its true intrinsic level, where actually the market neither overbought nor oversold, and it becomes freshly ready to buy or sell. And that's why news is so important. We are not going to trade the data. Okay? We have absolutely nothing to do with this one here. 2.8%, 2.3%. Yeah. Data helps to see if there is a very unusual difference. So if you look at I'm looking at AUD. Okay, so AUD, you can see the data has published and the market started to move, but we already see the DXY was bearish. That has reflected on all the USD pairs. So it's less likely to do anything with the AUD data. It's all about DXY. Because DXY got weaker, so AUD got stronger. So the data helps us to understand the context, and especially the market move to a new level after the data been released. So it creates new opportunity to buy or sell. And that being said, as we are seeing there is a news coming, if the spike now coming here, so 3393, one level that we can look for an entry if the market drops through that. If not, we have to look at a different level that we can look at whenever it appears in the market. I'm looking at the 15 minutes and the lower time frame, as we are seeing the data coming in 1 minute. Okay, so we'll be waiting for 1 more minutes to go. Spending here. Okay, so you see that spike potentially trying to create below here. And what the market has shown preliminary GDP and unemployment claims. Still not showing up here. Why? There's a downside here that you can see. So preliminary GDP came out to be 3.3%, which is positive, and unemployment claims 229K, which is both of them boosting for DXY for short term. So some upside bias is coming that might have a mirror effect on gold. And we are looking at, this is what I'm looking at, the market directly to hit to 3393 level. And if it is coming to this level, we will be looking for an entry. Okay, so if we look at the 50 minutes, you can see it's now trying to melt that down back below here. Looking at the ATR. We might be placing buy limit. Looking forward to see a complete breakup structure, though we see some bullish momentum as soon as it's coming below. Okay, for the time being, I'm going to place a buy limit in this area, and if the market drops here, if not, we can anytime adjust our pending order. As I mentioned earlier, here I'm going to place the best place where I can have the best price. Stop loss below this low here. Now, if the market is not coming, rearranging again, we can have another entry whenever we see that. At the moment, I'm going to place buy limit here, and we will be waiting for the market to potentially trend back down here. And if the market is not coming to that level that we are looking at, we will be readjusting the entry whenever needed. So buy limit, looking at on gold. We know the market is still far from the level that we are looking at, almost 200 pip, but we are preparing for potential setup. Anytime we can readjust our entry based on the new market structure formation here. At the moment, we can see it's in an uptrend with a, once we saw there was a breakup structure here, and that breakup structure in fact played out very well here. And because there is a breakup structure in the past, this is a liquidity zone, expecting the market to pull back there and then to revert back to the upside, as there is a large fair value gap here in that area. Now, before this 1 hour candle close, we will keep that potential entry to that level. In case the market is not coming here, we'll see that new market structure where the market is potentially coming. That's where we will be readjusting the entry. I hope that you are enjoying the live session, traders. Make sure you give a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done yet, press the notification bell so that you are not missing any of the content that I am posting every day. Okay, so some bearish move expecting here, and if it is coming back with this one single move on the 15 minutes, we will be on the trade. Now we are little earlier here, but it's a planned, and once the market managed to come that far with the movement that we are looking at, that's gonna be potentially good entry. And I'm looking forward to see that the market is coming back, where we see that there is a, in fact, 5 minutes bearish market structure is being formed here. And looking forward to see the market to potentially come back to give us an entry. Now, why am I looking at this entry? If you look at here, this is a key level, and trading from a key level is very important because this is where the best trade comes, when we can identify the key level and wait for the market to come back to that key level. Keep in mind, guys, when you're looking at a market, okay, so especially trending market, what we need to do is to find that support or resistance in the trend and then finding that entry to the major direction, because the market more often will be in a sideway. But when you start to trend, look for the key levels. And once we can identify those key levels, we can place the entry and then trade with the trend with proper risk management, and then let the market play out the rest. Simple strategy can give you unbelievable advantage when you are trading. And if you look at here, this support level, this is the level that I was looking at potentially for entry. Now the market already has broken this swing high here. It's in an uptrend, and this is a move. We saw the pullback to that, has bounced back up. Now currently in another consolidation here. Now dropping to that level, little ambitious, but it's still it's possible. This is the best area that we can go for a long trade, though it's not immune to the market. Will not come here, still could come and then could go back up. But what we need here is to wait for that level. If it is not going to that zone where we are looking at, we will be look for the next move. That means new market structure. And that's what also I always emphasize. Always look at the market from a fresh perspective. Look at from the beginner mindset, because the market changes constantly. It's evolving every time. If you look at the chart 15 minutes, for example, in the morning, you see that one way. When you look at the evening, it's gonna be completely a different market. So whenever you look at from the fresh perspective, from beginner mindset, that this is the market, it's completely changed. What am I going to do here with this? Will I be thinking like what I was in the morning, or there's some changes here? Until the market always create a new structure. Eurusd opinion. Along with gold, we are looking at British pound has with the news set a breakdown here, which in fact also has given momentum potentially. Eurusd is just pushing back up to the major direction after this 15 minutes bullish candlestick pattern formation. It might, I think, come for deeper pullback here. We see there is an inverted head and shoulder. What I think Eurusd could do, along with all the USD pairs, to go up as much as it can, and from the next candle could come back again for a retest of the neckline. So it's now on the top, and better to wait for a rearrangement. While we are looking at gold is trying to build that pressure back below. When you're looking at a market, either it's gold, or currency pairs, the most important area that I always look at is the swing low with a breakup structure. Now, this setup, if someone see, we might think of also, if we can expect the market to drop here, then why we are not selling? This is another question might come arise, right? Can anyone answer why am I not selling or not being interested to sell? Now you can see here in this area where there is a sharp rejection, expecting it to fill that zone here. cross that low to this support level. Okay, so against the trend, well done. Bradley, against the overall trend, yeah. Directional biased, okay. Anyone else, any different? I think you guys spot on, right? This is what against the major trend, because we are speculating, we are expecting that the market to drop here, but any point it could revert back again to the upside. And when we are looking at the market from a different perspective, as from the multi-time frame as well, we can see the market you'll see that trend confirmed. As we in this trade that we are looking at 15 minutes bullish entry, but if you look at the 4 hour, what do you see? That is also bullish, and the market is above 10 EMA, so which is a very strongly bull market. Now in that strongly bull market, we can expect the market to push back here. I think the market could drop back to that level. What do you think, guys, here? Do you have any different opinion? Do you think the market is coming down here? We see that the spike down, and slowly the market is building that pressure back below. You are in the bullish trend. Welcome. Absolutely. We are not selling because we don't want to go against the trend. Okay. Even if we see the market is falling, the reason is when we are buying from a support in the direction of the trend, if this market want to be bearish, we still could see at least a bounce back to the upside before it turned to bearish, because it was a bull market. But if we are looking for sell here in this bull market, at any point the market could reverse. And when it will reverse, it's gonna go ahead and create a new higher high. You see, this is where not to trade against the trend. I had a support resistance level at 3400. Is that also a good level? Depending on what time frame you are looking at, 3400 to me, this is because of the 4 hour. You mean the 4 hour open and close, and I normally take the sessions low. This is where the high probability is set up for me, the sessions low in an uptrend, or the previous sessions low, which is a very important level. And you can see the market is coming potentially to that level. We are ready for that. We are almost nearly the halfway, waiting for the market to drop another 40 pip to 50 pip for an entry to the upside. And that's what we want to catch some pip here, guys. Keep in mind that what comes with patience is always persist. Welcome. Home sales is 4 hour candle close. Do you think it will affect the 4 hour open and close? No, the high impact only. The rest of the news doesn't make much big difference. Even I don't follow them. I only look at the red one. So the rest of the news may not be very effective. We see that break of this support and expecting it to further downside here to this support level, and the market trend is showing that move. This is an imbalance and also key level of support. This could be an important level. The market is still could reverse from here, but my level is here that I want to take the best price in the market to have that move, which is also the daily support level coming. Come on. Okay, so we are waiting for one more drop for an entry. We place the buy limit here 3394.01 and stop loss at 3388.73, TP target 3304.57. Wanting to see the market coming here, getting an entry, and then to revert back again to the upside if the market drops with one single impulse with a bigger ATR. And we'll keep that trade valid until we see any pullback. Because pullback is where the market become healthy trend. Because if the market is dropping with this one single move back below without any healthy pullback, that's the sign that the market is, in fact, it's a potentially reversal sign here. We are almost nearing to the 4-hour candle close on the currency according to the trading view time, but still gold, there's 1 more hour remaining on the gold 4-hour close. So the next 1 hour, because if you look at this gold 1-hour candle, you can see it's a bearish engulfer. The market has crossed from this high and rejected with a big red candle. The possibility for the next one to come down is higher. So our entry that we have placed on gold is still, for me, is justified, though we still could see, anything break the low. So make sure, guys, you do proper lot sizing, and risk management is key. And wanting to see the market to drop that low, cross that entry, and then revert back again to the upside here. Here is the move so far, and the stop loss here is 1.58 here, which is around to 50 pip to 51 pip in this move here on gold. And that's one single move. So this kind of move is what I look for potential trading, is because when you see the market breaking from such an important level with a one single reversal, one single drop, that means bigger ATR move, in most cases it's gonna be a reversal call, and you could see the market bounce back again at least to halfway or more on that move, and that's all we need. Okay, that's all we need, a bounce from that key level for that possible. And we see that dropping back below. So we are 1 hour candle closed, and the market formed pretty big bear candle. Now we need to see that drop to this 1 hour 20 EMA. So this is where the candle close here. Now I'm not entering from here yet. We still have around 27 pip from our entry. We want to see the market has invaded that support for us to get into the trade. Now it may go even without taking us, but I'm okay with that. I'm not being hurried, because patience is the number one quality that a trader must have to win, to become profitable over the long term. Now 30 minutes, you can see one bear candle, expecting another drop to this key level. We might see that. Okay, so the 5 minutes, I'm looking at the 5 minutes at the moment, and Here's 1 hour pretty sharp bearish candle. Now this bearish candle, you can see it's a complete rejection from the higher price, and that move expecting it to come back below further here. And if it goes back up without dropping below, it's gonna be very unusual, but I'm still wanting to see that it's been able to break that low for us to get into the trade. Which 5 minutes so far here not showing, still stronger bull. That means if not showing, that means if this 5 minutes candle still remaining series of lower high, that means not breaking that high, we very highly likely will see that the next one coming here and to this support or even breaking below further, then could go back up. Or if it is a trend change call, that's a different story. For 4 hour, if we look at here, we can see the market creating this long candle. Now 4 hour perspective, we still have 1 more hour for this candle to close, and not going anything from here. You guys ready for an entry? We need to see that break of support for that entry to happen. And also I've shared the same trade in the premium group for the VIP community. If you guys are there, you could see that. Candle close on the 5 minutes, and all right, so getting some reaction potentially from the top. Okay. Yeah, so it's showing that bearish market as we discussed. So we might get a trigger here. So my entry at 194.01. We discussed in the past. Okay. We are almost nearing to the trade to be active. Still few people, anyone on the trade? My entry was here, so I'm not adjusting any entry because I wanna see the market has crossed that low before you get into the trade. And the 5 minutes closing, potentially another bull candle. Didn't cross that low yet. Yeah, this is what I'm waiting to for the bounce. We should only for 5 pip. I haven't got triggered yet, but I think still possibility to come down here. If it is not coming, that's gonna be very unusual. So it's what we call the near miss. So still we have very high probability to break below, then we will be on the trade. By the way, anyone have entered anything anywhere due to the spare or anything like that? I couldn't still get in the entry for 5 pip yet. Here is the 5 pip gap for my entry where the prices come. But as 15 minutes closing, and what's your take on euro dollar right now? Okay. Euro dollar today showing bullish, and it's not in any directionally, as we discuss on euro dollar, to potentially move sideways or come back for a retest. We're going back to gold here. Come on. Waiting for trigger. Yes, this is what we're waiting for. And without breaking this support, not a good area to enter. We could enter early. That could give us 42 pip at the moment, but I am not, as I mentioned, like to see that support has been tested before we get into the trade. This is the 1 hour price action. 4 hour forming pretty sharp bullish doji here, and also the bearish doji. Now this will be remaining valid till the 4 hour candle close here. Now, if this 4 hour candle, if you're not getting triggered by the 4 hour close, today's market at the end could come even drop deeper to the previous daily low here. The reason is daily high, you can see that it reached that key level. This is the previous key level. In the past, if you look at from the daily, from this level, this move happened. Now where the market reached is from this deep to that high and just little overextended on the daily. If you look at it, you can see this current 4 hour candle is an overextension of this daily high here. Because the market is overextension of this key level, the possibility from the 4 hour here that if you look at the market to come even deeper. So if this current session, this 4 hour candle, the current one touching the low, we might see a rejection back to the upside. That's where we will be taking profit. But if this 4 hour candle closing as a red doji like that, then you will not be enter any buy here, because in that case you might see the market coming well below here, because this key level is the daily high and this 4 hour candle is a penetration of this very important key level to the upside. That grab liquidity, the market might come well below here. So our pending order is for a rejection to the upside from this level, not for a complete bullish continuation. We might not see a complete bullish continuation, depending on how the 4 hour candle will close will determine. So our pending order is valid till the 4 hour close. We didn't trigger for only 2 to 3 pip and waiting for the trigger. All right, so let's see that now what's happening here. Still here you can see series of lower high. We could see still a drop here, but there is a 10 and 20 MA crossed over here, this zone, and so here we can see the markets trying to here if you look at trying to move back to the upside here, and it's an near miss here, few peep. So waiting for trigger. Yes, I'm waiting to two. I'm long and want to trail for more. Well, depending, and as I mentioned earlier, so this 4-hour candle close is important, but I think this candle may close as a doji, this 4-hour. And if that's the case, there's a possibility for breakup structure. But if it is going back above, closing as a solid bull candle, it is still probability to remain bullish to the upside, the possibility, but for breaking below is higher now. Silver, yeah, I do look at that as well. Possible head and shoulder forming for further drop on lower time frame. You mean on the 15 minute or the 5 minutes? We can spot a head and shoulder on the 5 minutes, right? But very important point that we need to note down is that, so if without triggering for 2 to 3 pips going to the profit target. But by the way, where we need to look at head and shoulder, as this is very important, that head and shoulder is irrelevant if you not taking the consideration of the trend. Any reversal pattern that you can see in the market is relevant when it validates the major trend. So what do I mean by this? Let's understand that. You see there, you can spot an inverted head and shoulder here, right? So if you look at here, what do you see? You can spot an inverted head and shoulder, very visible inverted head and shoulder, right? Now that inverted head and shoulder is in fact showing a potential directional bias with the trend. So this is what we need to look at when we are looking at the market. That means any kind of reversal pattern has to be directing you to the direction of the trend. Now, for 2 pip gold here now bounced back almost nearing to the profit level. The market has completely broken back to the upside, and it doesn't mean the next time we will keep a couple of pips above our entry. I will always do overextension. That's what in most cases you'll see. Even if we miss one trade, we still have another entry, right? We still can enter again. But we have learned something from here, right? With this trade. Now here what you can see in this area. From this level, we saw that almost 100 pip drop and then return back again to the major direction of the trend. Now, this pending order become invalid, expired. We will be looking for next further entry. Okay, so it bounced back to the upside. We will be re-entering again with a new level. Pending order closed, we need to look for new entry. Now the next thing that will depend on our entry on how this 4-hour closing. We see that so far, if you look at here, you can see this is the daily key level. The market has reached that key level on the lower time frame. The buyers just has got back above. You guys have seen that how the market reacted in that way from that level that we have placed. The entry looked like that exactly where we targeted. Smart money bought from that level, right? Not look like. This is how the market does. As I mentioned earlier, every strategy that I trade is based on the smart money system. There must be a retest for a head and shoulder. Now, for the retest, that's a very good point. If you look at the 5 minutes, there must be a retest if there is a valid head and shoulder. It must be most of the case. So if you look at a head and shoulder as a reversal pattern, then you can expect not only retest of the neckline but also false breakout and then to trend, change of trend. But here, but is very important, is that always try to avoid trading reversal, because when the market trend, it will give you huge trading opportunity. More often, trend sustain very long period. And as you know that there is a old school saying, buy from higher high, sell from lower low. Once you see the market trend, don't buy from higher high, neither sell from lower low. Wait for an established trend and then buy from a breakdown, sell from a breakout. So basically, the trend, breakdown, buy, and then follow the trend, rather than looking for reversal, because reversal is more often continuation. You will see that over and over again in the market. Patience is key, guys. As I mentioned earlier, we do trade here in this live session every day, quite a few trades. and we have most likely that very high win rate. You guys have seen I'm trading live. Every trade I'm taking in front of you and trading with all of you. So the only thing that requires is patience. Sometimes you will not be able to catch a trade, but we didn't let the account bleed or have anything that to happen, so we still hold the capital for the entry. So it's not that we have lost the trade, but we couldn't enter sometime. But when we are entering, we will be taking the best profit from the market. So here is what we can see in this area. This is where the market now, if you look at here, you can see it's pushing back here from this support level. Now it's coming up the intraday 4-hour close. This is where the 30 minutes close as well. If the market reject back again below here, are you going to enter? Because it already reversed from here to the upside. If this market coming back below here again, then most likely we could see a reversal here, and that reversal might bring the price back to this daily support level where there is daily 10 EMA, previous daily low, and just one probability. Looking at the 30 minutes price action, let's see that how the 30 minutes candle close showing up the market. This is a blower high, wanting to see the market breaking that low here in this direction. Okay, so here, as I mentioned, it might completely return here. And if this 30 minutes candle coming to return back below here, the candle closing here, that means in that case, you will see that 4-hour close as a bearish pin bar. Even if this candle coming and closing as a bearish pin bar, if the price drop back below here, in that case very likely we'll see a possible reversal in this market, but I'm not guessing it until the 4-hour close. And it's on the daily key level. The trend is very strongly bullish here. Therefore, guessing a reversal is not a good idea. We'll be looking for the price action confirmation. Trading is like that. Okay, we have to be very, very picky in entering the trade, and then you can keep your win rate to a very high level. On Friday 8th of August, there is a high that is not swept yet. On Friday 8th of August, there is a high. You mean this one? This one. This is what I was talking about. This is Friday 8th of August. So this level has just been overextended, right? It has crossed that high here. 1 hour MM model. Okay, this high that you can see has extended. Okay, this exceeds this level, and because this level exceeds here, this is what we are discussing, that if you look at bigger picture, what do you see here? You see the bigger picture? Always look at the bigger picture. That's where you'll start to see a completely new understanding. So this is a key level because this is a very big move here. From here, key level. So, and that key level, so when you see the key level extended, even few pip, it matters. So you can see here, key level extended to the upside. Now, the trend is still may continue, but the market in a level where it can come for deeper retreat like this one here. Like that. And then to go back up or come back below further. As there's a monthly close coming as well. So that market that we are expecting is also depending on this 4 hour close. 4 hour looks pretty healthy, bullish yet. Okay, so until it formed that market structure here. Probably you could enter little earlier here, but I always look for entry from an overextension. That confirms that the market is coming to an important key level. Okay, so now the market has reached, you see, slowly trying to build the pressure back below. And how the 4 hour close is where our primary focus now. Because if this 4 hour closing as a narrower doji as we discussed, we could see one more rejection back below here. Because the place already played, so now downside target may nearly daily low for buy. Daily low is here, today's low, And if the market crossed the daily low, we'll be looking at daily low here. If the price wants to come to the daily low, most likely after this 4-hour close, which may come or may go still further. Before the 4-hour close, it's less likely the market will come that far here. Though we see that possible rejection coming, I see that your chart FX is different from Vantage. What is the best broker to make analysis on? Okay, so basically I do all my analysis on TradingView because MT4 is not MT4 chart not good for analysis. I don't know you guys do that or no. TradingView is the best for analysis. So yeah, so therefore it's just 11 to see. And it's cloud based, it's easy to do that. I place all my entry on MT4, but I do analysis on TradingView. For those who don't know TradingView, you can even create a free account. Okay, so it's charting platform. Yes, you can pick a broker. Yeah, absolutely. So I do the charting on TradingView and then place the trade on MT4. Okay. Okay, so here it's now after this complete rejection back to the upside from this key area of support. It's now trying to create a market structure, and we need to see a significant drop before the 4-hour close for a potential sell move. And especially if closing as a doji is a big sign of further downside here. Okay, getting some rejection here in this area that could lead that price back below here. And I'm not still, as I mentioned, still not guessing for any move until we see the real move happening. So from the support level, there is a complete break above here in that move. crossing that high on the 4 hour, which is pretty sharp bullish move, and not going long from the top as other strategy. You wanna look for buying from a key level of support, and here this is a series of higher low support. This is key level here, 4 hour. Okay, so this is a clean market at the moment on gold. Gbpusd, if you guys look at here, there is a rejection along with the euro dollar. Euro dollar, as I mentioned, when this candle was forming, it may go and come back. So we see that the market structure also following that pattern potentially to break below on euro dollar, and that's what we're looking at here. If we look at the 1 hour with this doji on euro dollar, the market now could potentially come back below here for another retest. So not a very aggressive trend that I'm potentially looking for, a stronger trend here with a clean breakout. And from this high here, we have only next 150 minutes candle to close before the 4 hour close. Now, how this 4 hour close coming is making a big difference. The way this market structure forming here, what I think possibility to after the 4 hour close is still come back here is higher. Do we see an inverted head and shoulder? But the market is on the daily key level. This is the previous daily key level. We are almost end of 4 hour candle close, not end of session. We still have quite a while to look for the entry. Here with this move, drop to the support from the 50 minutes, bounce back to the upside here on the 4 hour close coming, and potentially it is 15 minutes candle closing. It is a very complete vertical move back to the upside here. Very interesting fact. 5 minutes candlestick pattern. The market is not being able to show a very stronger confluence yet, but slowly is trying to build that pressure. It changes very soon. Now double top here. Do you think this double top is playing out to be bearish here? Though the trend is up. Let me start a pool here. The previous pool was 57 baht and spike up, spike down. Let me see if you guys, what you are thinking with this double top. Do you think this with 4-hour candle close, this is 15 minutes with this double top, because on a key level, upon the 4-hour close, the market coming down here, or it's gonna go up for another breakout? So let me ask you with a poll. Let's see that most of the members or the, if you guys, what you are thinking. I've started a pool. Let us know what's your thought. What do you think? It's gonna bounce back up or coming back below? So 2 votes. We see that price drop down. So 2 members still saying that coming down, 1 up. So keep posting, keep casting a vote to see. That will give us also an idea after the 4-hour close what the market might be doing here. And based on that, we can look for an entry if it goes with our plan according to. So from the daily, if you look at here, you can see this clearly breaking to the upside. Crossing that high, cross that high here, and there's another key level, which is another order block coming, approaching that 3420 level. So as the market here managed to break to the upside here with very sharp bullish breakout, it is still possible for this market again to drop. I will not be very impressed with the fact that this market will be totally bullish here. What we could see that the market may come back here again for another support test and then could go here back above. So as it is sharply bull market, 4 hour close above, didn't close as a doji, so we still can think of going bullish for longer term here. As daily market as well, the price is completely broken above. So later today, as already the news has been came out to be pretty supportive to the direction of gold bullish, because of the we might see some weakness on DXY, and that you can see earlier. So because weakness on DXY, just mirror effect on gold, and that gold price is significantly bullish here, and which is from this support level. If you look at it, you can see this is a pretty strong breakout with one single bullish impulse back to the upside here, and that move that you can see, which is completely bullish, has crossed that high here. Now the possibility for the market to drop here again, as in our previous trade, if you guys looked at that, we set to this level, okay, and now we will move in the same kind of setup, because higher high need to wait for break of structure here, and that's where the entry for the next move on gold. The precision of our trade was very good, isn't it? Just except 2-3 pip. But that's how trading is. Once you can understand the entry, once you can understand the mechanism in the market, the goal here is not to enter a trade, but to give you the tools, that means the system, an understanding of the market structure. And in the beginning of the session, we have started with a very important point, that 70% of what I am showing here is observational. That means long observation on the chart. 30% learned, but fully retested and remodified, tested from the real market data. So that is why the approach that you can see how I trade is very different, and that's the accuracy that you can see on the trade that I'm opening every single day. Stick to the channel, guys, for every update that I'm posting in the channel, regular analysis. Live sessions are the great way to enhance your learning and growing as a trader. And I'm coming on live every single day, twice, along with also trading in the premium group with community members. And don't miss out any of the session that I am doing every single day, so you are not missing any of the content that I am posting. So today is Thursday, coming up another trading day, Friday, tomorrow, and If you look at here, that move, what we are looking at the moment is another drop. So my plan for the session coming up and also current session until the end of the invoice session will be waiting for a break of any key level of support, and then once we see the market has penetrated that low, we'll be entering from that. Stop loss 1.5 ATR. TP target at least 3 times to 5 times that we can do, or to at least 2 times. And that being said, guys, I'm almost nearing to this session, but least but not the last. Very important. Always trade with proper risk management. 4-hour candle closing here with a potentially to be, you can see this 5 minutes is a bearish engulfer. We might see that potentially ultimately a drop here to this 4-hour support level, and then we will be re-entering again as soon as we find the market has shown that support test. That being said, guys, thanks for joining the live session. I'll see you again very soon, trading live together in this market. Until that, stay well, stay happy.